Welcome to the continuation of our adventure down under New Zealand. Springs?
Hot springs near Beacon Falls, I think.
How long? I'm not pronouncing that.
Yeah. So that's the river that forms Hookah Falls. And we thought that was Hookah Falls to start with, but it's not.
It's just a narrow channel that it goes through. A lot of water.
Look. It drops off. That's Hookah Falls down the
Way down there.
But you have to walk down there to see it.
And it's a lot of water.
From there, we went to Napier.
And the port of Napier.
From Bluff Lookout. It's basically on the eastern side of the North Island. It's where pretty much all of their goods come in.
And go out. Like timber. They kind of complain that they've been deforested most of New Zealand. And this is why, because they're exporting a lot of it. And we mean a lot of it. That's just, part of it, really. Look at all those logs. Logs, 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 and more logs. Yes, more logs. This is the unloaded ship.
This is the port that supports Wellington.
Nice sunset. And then off we go to yet another little destination.
Castle Point Beach.
This is where they use tractors to pull out and put in boats. There's yet another place, we'll show you in a bit, where they use something to put boats and take them out on the beach.
We could drive on this beach.
And park. But it's just amazing that they use tractors to do this, and they just rust out. They got to. He was in there to the axles. And then we got Cape Point Lighthouse. This is above where they were taking that boat out.
Yeah, that's the beach down there.
I think that little red car is our rental.
Yes. We had a really good weather because that normally is super windy, and it was calm, dead calm.
And then we go Cape
Palliser.
That lighthouse way up there.
Staircase? 250 steps, straight up. Very narrow. One person.
You could get two on there.
There was a place where you could stop
and rest for a little bit. Because it's way down there. We can get the focus going. Maybe. Come on. You can kind of see it off to the left there. Yeah, and down to the bottom of the lighthouse, there's a beach. Kind of. Rocky. And this little sea lion is trying to come in. You can do it. Oops. Wave.
Where'd you go?
Right there. See him jumping?
Yeah, he's working it. He's working it.
Working it kind of hard. It's a lot of surf.
Oh, it was pretty. We didn't have good weather that day. It was windy. It was
little overcast, and there he is. He made it to the rocks.
Such a cute.
I think he wanted to go. I don't think immigration would allow him. But then we realized that a lot of the dark spots out there on the beach were actually sea lions.
And a whole bunch more back there.
Rocks.
Though there are a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
And a lot of sea lions. And there we go. Bulldozer. Isn't that the proper use of a bulldozer? Launching a boat? This place has a lot of bulldozers, and a lot of them are rusted out.
That's the harbor.
Check the shorts. You'll see a whole line of bulldozers. We went by.
That's the harbor.
On that side of the thing, yeah. A lot of boats, a lot of bulldozers. And then off we go to Stonehenge of New Zealand, which was...
Yeah, Tarara. Except I can't pronounce it correctly. But it was built by an astronomer who wanted to do a Stonehenge for the southern hemisphere, and it is correct for the southern hemisphere. The standing stone in the middle is the pointer, if you will. It has all sorts of correct standing stones outside as well. It's got various different
statues and stuff. And the zodiacs.
It's privately owned, but it's open to the public and for a fee. And it was just different. It was neat.
There's the center rock.
Here's a rabbit.
There's actually a hole in it to line up a star.
7 Sisters.
And then we're off to the South Island for Abel Tasman.
Behind the main rock there, up on there, can I see the trees aren't made of the rocks, you know.
They think the ice did it, but it's been like that forever. So we took this cruise up to Anchorage was the name of the place, and then we took some time to hike. And this was one of the statues in the campground that we started our hike in.
So you could do hiking, camping, all through this.
They called them trekking.
Yeah, all
Great
through
walks.
the park. So there was a lot of... We saw quite a few hikers with backpacks.
Doing the Great Walk, yeah.
So you could be days up into this place.
Yeah. New Zealand's famous for that. It's
for hiking and day trips and week trips, and
they've got these great walk trails that are all over the country.
I think this is our retirement island.
Yeah, right.
One way off, one way on. Boat only. So this is part of the campground. This little cute little bird is a relative of the kiwi. We did not see a kiwi at all. Here's our boat coming back to get us. Had a nice angle. Rolled out the front. Kind of.
So I didn't have to go wading in my boots.
Yeah, and then we're off to find an int.
Yes, we were looking
and
for
if
ents.
you don't know what an int is, go read The Lord of the Rings.
Yep. And then we went down to Puna Kaiki, which is the translation for rocks.
So if you were to look really close at them, it sort of looks like pancakes stacked on pancakes on these rocks. And there's other things actually that the natives say that they are part of their tradition. As you can see that. And then they call this mermaid hair. That's the way it flows around. Anybody want to jump in there? I think you'd be smashed.
they had really good interpretive signs all along.
Then you go inland a ways, and you find glaciers.
Franz Josef Glacier, to be exact.
And it has retreated a lot.
And then we headed further south, towards Queenstown.
This is the general road that I was driving while in New Zealand. Turn after turn after turn. And then, of course, they had road construction. So you'd go around a corner and you get a sign that says road construction. And you go around another corner and you get a stoplight. Because the road construction put it down to one lane. And there's no way of seeing from end to end because of all the corners. So, of course, you wait for your green light and then you go, and hopefully nobody else is coming the other direction. There wasn't anybody, but
I always kind of wondered if somebody might jump the gun or something. Some of those roads were really narrow one-laners.
Yeah, and we were driving on the left-hand side the whole time. Think about that. And I was on the right-hand side of the car driving.
Yeah, this was very definitely a typical road. Typical weather as well.
Little rain, little cloud.
We stopped at Thunder Creek Falls.
A lot of water. And then off to Sterling Point.
The southernmost part of the South Island of New Zealand.
Lots of waves. And if you want to know where you are, take a look at the sign. Figure out where you're at or where you're going to go and see how far it is.
Then we went to Milford Sound. And this was the bus tour that we took into Milford Sound.
Stopped a bunch of places going down, like Mirror Lakes here. The remarkable mountains, which were used in all kinds of things like Coors commercials. You look at them and it's like, I kind of recognize that. Well, might be from the 70s, Coors commercial, the Great Rocky Mountains. And of course, to get to Milford Sound, you had to go through a big tunnel. And then we took a nice little cruise out on the water.
Show you all
Waterfalls.
We should be open for the next 25
And they were big waterfalls.
They were fun because on a lot of them, the boat would actually go cruise right up to the edge.
Right
like
into the
this.
falls.
And just right into the falls. You get wet, you know. And then we headed out.
Besides, it was raining.
Yeah, then it started to
very
rain.
special treat. They don't normally like this boat, so it's nice when they actually bother to show up.
And we were joined by some friends. Pod of bottlenose dolphins joined us.
For a little while. And then we were supposed to fly back, but it was snowing up in the mountains over the pass. So we got the bus ride back for 5 hours.
So yeah, this is the Fiordland Mountains here. So this is, that's the airport. They don't have de-icing equipment, so. And those were hills that were looking really weird.
And
on
then
the way
we
to Christchurch.
go off to another lighthouse.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of the lighthouse tours in New Zealand.
But we were headed towards Christchurch to fly out.
So yeah, this was our last pretty much long day that we had was to tour kind of around Christchurch. So that was it.
And then we fly out of Christchurch and stay tuned because we're going to Australia next.